Hey Zen fam, it's me. I know, I've been away a wee while. I want to start this video explaining what's been going on the last couple of weeks while I've been away. And then obviously, I'll get into the meat of the video. So, it basically started with the fact that we were doing a bit of a declutter and spring clean, like you do. Anyway, so the room where I film, it was just like, it was virtually unusable, especially for making videos. There was just stuff everywhere and there was no room to set up the green screen, and it was just a right royal mess. It's gotten a lot better, but we're still moving stuff around, rejigging things, but it's now at a state where I can film again. Et voila. And obviously this was going on and all this news was breaking about, PlayStation 5 and a bit Xbox One S, all digital edition, and I'll come to that later. Then of course, some of you who follow me on Twitter and the tiny amount of you that I let into my Facebook, because my Facebook is private, but there's a few that I do let in, special members of the Zen fam. And there's some people in my life who, I've been around a long time, and I like to keep them in the loop because they're like friends and like real life friends and family. I put out a message on those two platforms about 3 days ago, basically saying that I was not going to be posting anything for a couple of days. And this was because my mother had passed away, and I needed a couple of days to process and basically get my head together and sort of like figure out, what was going on in my head and get myself straight again. I'm in a much better place now, and I feel like I'm able to make videos for you guys again and stream tonight, and back to tweeting and making content and stuff, which I will also get to. Also, before I get to those points, I do want to issue an apology. There are some of you who, upon viewing my last video, felt that I went in too hard on the royal family. Most specifically, Prince Harry. Now, I will admit that maybe there's a certain amount of bias from me, because I feel very deeply that the royal family is archaic and has no place anymore. That we should have evolved past the point of having a royal family, let alone letting them, have anything to do with us and getting money from the taxation system and stuff like that. I personally believe them to be a drain on our resources. But that is not the view of everybody. There are some of you out there, beloved members of the Zen fam, who very much disagree with me on this point. And I would never think to devalue your opinions in this manner. If you're into the royal family, that's you. You do you. There may be things about what I think other than this issue that you disagree with me on. I would like to think that as our small community goes for my various social media platforms that I try to do stuff on, that we can come together even though there are some items that we obviously disagree upon. As in the context of content creation, of course, trying to get back into things and get the swing going, you'll now see behind me I have put 2 new designs up on the Redbubble store. For all you new people who joined just in the last little while, I have a Redbubble store. For some of you who may not even know what Redbubble is, Redbubble is basically a platform where you can make designs on whatever platform you wish to use, then post those designs on the website, and then they use those as templates to put on mugs, t-shirts, whatever you like. And there's a whole bunch of things, like you can have like a tote bag, or t-shirts, or hoodies, or whatever, stickers, you know. So if you want to sort of like proudly proclaim you're a member of the Zen Fam, that is a good resource. I get a little bit of a kickback, and any of the monies that come from that get ploughed into this video. Sorry, this channel, so I can make better videos for you guys. So far, there's only ever been one t-shirt sold, so there is £2.50 odd in a jar, sort of like being collected, and it hasn't been touched, and you know, maybe someday I'll get enough money together to get me a passport so that I could do things like go to Gamescom and, you know, make more interesting content for you guys IRL. Anyway, so those 2 new t-shirts are up. Hopefully you'll like them, or you'll like some of the other stuff I've created. I like to think I've made some fairly decent designs over the last wee while. Maybe you'll like something and have it for yourself. Right, so let's see. I've brought you up to speed with where I've been and why I've not been around. I've addressed some concerns about the previous video. I've highlighted the new content on the Redbubble store. I think I've covered everything. So, let us get to the meat of this video. What is Zenbloke looking to rattle on about this time? Well, it's quite simple, really. I want to talk next gen, but I want to do it in a slightly different way. Yes, I'm excited for PlayStation 5, if indeed it's going to be called PlayStation 5, although the smart money says that's probably what they'll call it, because, you know, does Sony really want to spend money marketing a whole new name and a whole new naming convention? Chances are no, so probably it will be called PlayStation 5 to have that brand loyalty and familiarity with the customer base. So it probably will be called PlayStation 5. And obviously we don't know what the next Xbox will be called, but there have been scant details of varying levels of technical specifics given out for both future systems. And obviously there's variations in believability and detail and timing and so on and so forth. But that's not really where I lie. Where I'm coming in is, yeah, I'm excited for PlayStation 5 and I'm saving money for it, and obviously as a gamer I'm excited to see what Xbox bring to the party for next gen. I'm curious to see what happens. And it's also the fact that I very strongly believe this to be the last console generation. I think we're now about to reach a point where we will no longer have a box of electronics you stick under your telly. Now, some might say that's controversial, but I think we're going to soon be in a point where, like, you know, you'll pick up a gamepad in the future and this will have everything. This will contain all your information. It'll be how you control the UI. It'll link to link to the internet and do all the stuff. And you know, you won't have a box anymore. You'll just have a controller, or maybe you won't even have a controller. Maybe even just have a headset that will, you know, scan your eyes, scan your faces, scan your hands, and you know, you'll play that way. You know, hell, you may even in the future knock a cable in the back of your head, all Matrix style. Who knows? But I think the idea of having a dedicated box of electronics, you know, this is probably the last go at it. You know, there will be purely about services from this point well, after this point will be about services. There'll be an Xbox service, and there'll be a PlayStation service, maybe even a Nintendo service. I mean, you know, look at Google Stadia, not Stadia, Stadia. Okay, that's how it's pronounced, and it's Mark Cerny, not Cerny or Turney or whatever. Cerny. Okay, sorry, that's been bugging me. I've heard so many people try pronouncing his name horribly, horribly wrong. Anyway, so given that the idea that we're not going to have any more physical systems, physical games, this is the evolution of the industry and the evolution of the equipment we're going to have to game upon, or rather with. So I think we, as a community, as gamers, we need to evolve with our equipment. Consider this. We are involved with the most sophisticated and technologically advanced form of entertainment that has ever existed. Right? Gaming itself is bigger than Hollywood. Okay? Bigger than the music industry. Bigger than books. We have an interactive medium, okay? I mean, look at this way. You have a friend at work who he'll take a few days off, or she'll take a few days off, depending. And they'll go, yeah man, I just Netflixed and chills for 4 days. It was good. And people are alright with that. But you tell those same people at work that you spent 4 days off work and all you did was game, and more often than not, you'll get a bunch of quizzical looks. So I'm like, what? You wasted your time gaming? But yet, somehow, you didn't waste your time watching movies. Now, don't get me wrong. I love movies. I really do. I'm quite the movie buff. I mean, I'm like a walking IMDb half the time. But it has to be said that for some reason, the general populace, doesn't understand the idea of gaming. And yet when you're gaming, you're involved in an activity. Sometimes you're even involved emotionally. Especially sometimes if or you could be playing with other people, or you could be solving puzzles. You're doing something. You're in an activity. You're not just passively absorbing content, which is what you do when you watch a movie. Nothing wrong with that, but that is what you're doing. So yet somehow, we get torn down by everybody else. And with this in mind, we seem to be more than happy to tear at each other. And to my mind, this needs to change. Okay? It really does. We're more than willing to rip on fellow gamers. And I don't care if you're playing on a phone, on a tablet, on a PC, on an Xbox, on a PlayStation, on a Nintendo. I don't care. Okay? Gaming is gaming. It's all good, whether it be motion gaming or VR gaming, turn-based strategy, FPS, driving, even FIFA, even though I dislike football games. Okay? It's all gaming. It's all about the games. That's why we're here. That's why we love this stuff. Because we love games, don't we? I would like to think so. Otherwise, this would be a funny channel to watch otherwise. It's like, we're into gaming. We're gamers. That's what we do. And it doesn't really matter what the game is on. The matter is, do you enjoy it? Does it make your happy happen? Maybe you're just moving gems about on the screen, but there's still that high, there's still that rush when you get all the gems and the screen goes and the screen clears and you get a big score and a flashy graphic. There's still that sort of endorphin pump. And it's that endorphin pump that's part of gaming. We're going right back to playing Space Invaders and You know, the first time you ever played Space Invaders and you cleared that line of alien crash, like, you know, and you cleared them all. And that special moment when there's the space, you know, the flying saucer goes across the screen, and that first time you ever hit him, you're like, yeah! Right back to the 70s. You have to remember, games been going a long time. Now we're in an age where, like, you know, we've got social media integration, virtual reality, and forced feedback, rumble controllers, and, you know, online multiplayer, and choose your own adventure, multipath, you know, games. And it's like immersive, deep, emotional experiences, and every year stories get better and better and better. You know, these are all the positive aspects. I mean, yes, I recognise there are many negative aspects to gaming in 2019. But, you know, when you get right down to it, gaming is very, very special. And we should treat each other accordingly. You know, as gamers, we need to show the love to each other, okay? We really do. We don't need to tear each other down. So, what I'm saying is, we have these two new systems on the horizon. We've got PlayStation 5 and what we'll call Nextbox, as some people have already started to coin that phrase online. Right? So you got your Nextbox and your PlayStation 5. How about this time around, we don't have a flame war? How about this time around, we don't let fanboys guide the conversation? How about we wait and see what the two machines can do? Because right now, they don't exist yet, technically. And we're already having multiple conversations of Xbox will be more powerful. No, PlayStation's way more powerful. PlayStation's going to have this brand new version of an SSD, and it's going to have Zen architecture, and it's going to do ray tracing and future scope for 8K. And I'm like, hang on, wait, whoa. Future scope for 8K? Are you joking? I'm still running a 1080p telly. I only got this 1080p telly like about a year and a half ago. Up until then, I was running an LCD 1080i TV. That was second hand from a mate. Alright? I know, like, one person, seriously, one person with a 4K telly. And I know a bunch of people. Alright? You get to 44, you meet a few people in your life, Ken? Alright? So, trust me, there's no that many 4K tellies about. Admittedly, there's more than there was 5 years ago. But how about we get the wider adaptation of 4K before we start thinking about 8K? 8K is the kind of thing you see at CeBIT. You know, you see some guy from from BBC Click going, oh, look at this 8K television, we'll have this in our home in the next 3 to 5 years. And you go, nice pal, how much? And they go, oh, it's about £6,000. You're like, aye, £6,000, yeah. Let me just go around, let me filch down the back of the couch and pull out £6,000. No, that's unrealistic. Now, future pushing towards that, saying you have a system that when 8K eventually happens, it'll be able to do 8K output, which probably means, alright, that like you'll be able to do streaming 8K games, possibly depending on how the network speed is and your deal and such. But what it probably really means for something like PlayStation, considering it will still have the ability to take discs, that there'll be 8K movies on Ultra Blu-rays or whatever they're called, you know, and it'll be able to output that 8K footage to an 8K television. Possibly. Okay? That's where I think it's going, where they're saying about that. But it's technically true, so they can say it, you know, in their marketing. Now, yes, there's the SSD. Now, obviously, people are going to talk price when it comes to PlayStation 5. And when you consider the guts of the machine, I mean, right? If you have a 2 terabyte normal everyday mechanical hard drive, that thing's going to set you back, I believe, around about 80, maybe 100 quid, depending on make and model and stuff, and run speed and blah blah blah. Alright? You want to know how much a 1 terabyte SSD costs? Yeah, it's about 4 times as expensive. About that. I'm not entirely sure of the prices. I did look a while ago, but I can't remember exactly. But they're not cheap. But they are really fast. And the only thing you have to bear in mind with SSD hard drives is after about 10 to 12,000 rewrites, they begin to get a little sticky because the data's been rewritten so many times. But by the point you've got to that level of rewriting for an SSD, you'd have to be like a super hardcore user for about like 10 years to get to that point. So you're pretty safe. Obviously, you have to make sure, that you don't lose charge to the system for an extended period, so you get memory dropout on an SSD because it's not magnetic, it's data driven. But even at that, we're talking like leaving it off, not on standby, but off for like 2-3 years. So I think you'd be fine, Even if you like took yourself to India to discover yourself, by the time you got back, chances are your PlayStation 5 would probably still be giving you all your game saves back. So I think you'll be fine. But, we're talking all these fancy points about what the next gen's going to bring. And I say, don't go, roar, my system is better, roar, my system is better. How about we go, whoa, everything is amazing in gaming, and look at this stuff that's happening. And both companies are now finally going to do something a bit different from each other. Because let's get faced facts, right? Even though at launch, PlayStation 4 technically was more powerful than Xbox One, the fact of the matter is both systems were built roughly the same, with very similar capabilities, very similar guts. The only thing that probably really got people behind Sony was the marketing. They got the marketing right. They pushed forward. But let's remember, the first year or so of PlayStation 4, there wasn't that much in the way of the exclusives. But they got the narrative right. And this is a PlayStation fan saying this, alright? And you also have to remember there was the hangover from PlayStation 3. The early days of PlayStation 3. It was not pretty. I was there, I loved it, but then I've been PlayStation since PlayStation 1. I had the original first SKU model. Okay? I've been in the trenches a long time. So, in summation, right? Let's not divide, let's come together. Right? Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Nintendo, mobile, all together one lovely little warm ball that we can hold into our hearts. Okay? Let's enjoy the games, let's enjoy each other, and maybe one day, Xbox and PlayStation, Nintendo, and maybe even PC can all come together in one unified online world, and we can all play together. I mean, wouldn't that be a wonderful dream? You got your friend on Xbox who's playing Division 3, and you're on PlayStation and you're playing Division 3, and finally you could be in a squad together. Wouldn't that be lovely? But we need to drop the negativity, we need to drop the hate, we need to move forward as a community, we need to evolve and develop. Okay? So drop the hate, drop the flame wars, drop the my system's better than your system. We need to stop seeing who can pee higher up the wall. Alright? Let's grow as a community. Let's grow as gamers. Man, woman, gay, straight, gender fluid, black, white, rich, poor. You know, I don't care where you're from, I don't care what you do. You're a gamer? You're a gamer. It's that simple. I've made this point in other videos. I'm making it in this one. Now, this video is getting close to half an hour, so I think I really need to wrap this up. Yet again, I'm sorry I was away for so long, but the house is looking a lot better, so I should be back on the normal content creation train. But of course, as always, please remember to rate, favourite, comment, share and subscribe. And of course, as always, I nae bother.